Where is Tallman? Where is Tallman? Here I am. Here I am.
Good.
Well, how are you today, sir? Very well, I say, sir. Run away. Run away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ball and Chain. A week without the chain, I know it was tough for me as well. I wish I were coming back in full health. I will warn all of our listeners and viewers now that a little bit of a lingering cough, so apologies ahead of time.
It's all right, but oh yeah,
our editor does not get paid enough to get every single one of those out in post, but we know he'll do his best.
yeah. I can't believe you're still faking it. It's all right, buddy. You got the time off work. You're back now. Well, you know what you can't fake? The Tuesday morning paper. You can never fake that one. That comes every hour on the hour. That's not true on a Tuesday. Cooper, I know you got the issue, even though you were sickly last week. What was it saying?
Some big headlines, some big games, both positive and negative, in week 3. Speaking from experience here.
Oh yeah.
My first headline, Brian, actually related to your matchup last week. If Juwanna Be My Lover.
Holy shit.
Of course, talking about Juwan Jennings sitting on the Silly Willie's bench, putting up 11 receptions, 175 yards, and 3 TDs for 46 points. He had to sit there in agony Monday night as Jamar Chase and Zach Moss put up a combined 50-piece.
Putting up a Wendy's 50-piece chicken nugget. Are you kidding me? I needed 36 to win, and they said, here, Brian, here you go. Here's a gift card to win.
Some extra sauce in the bag, too.
Moving on to maybe a more somber tone. The headline is double digits, and it is a multifaceted headline. The first facet, well, let's just get out of the way right now. Double digits is 10, which is the number of toes on a foot. Let's get that out there right now. Number of toes on a foot. But Cooper, it is also a mark that your players seemingly cannot surpass. Everybody but one guy, Brian Robinson Jr., and he barely got over it. 10.7. Nobody else got over 10 points. You got a bunch of single digits there sitting on your roster. I don't know if we've ever seen that before, ever. That's
Brian, would you believe it? I have an official statement hot off the press from the Toe Suckers front office.
I don't think I want to hear it, but go ahead. Oh my good grief.
First and foremost, we'd like to apologize to the fans who came out to support us in week 3. It's your emotional and financial contributions that make this organization possible. Without you, every dog would be dry. Last week's performance wasn't pretty, nor was it indicative of the outlook we have for this season. But I want to let you know now, we believe in our guys, and more importantly, they believe in themselves. So we ask all foot fanatics to stay patient and trust the orthopedic plan in place. Rest assured, we will not ride on the laurels of last season, but we remain committed to defending the title that we currently hold. I personally want to take a moment to give special recognition to Ramondre Stevenson, who, in solidarity of his former organization, put up an absolutely steaming pile of dookie in his Week 3 matchup.
You know how demoralizing that is?
I'm not done. To the men in the locker room,
I know
both those who were on the field last week and those eager to earn a starting spot, proving it with their production, we see you. There is no animosity among players. Our sole objective is to win. Phalanges forever. This team is ready to fight for their honor and your respect. On to double-digit performances and playoff contention for the Toe Suckers.
Wow, I don't know how I feel about that. The Tinglers absolutely sabotaged with a toe sucker nuclear bomb. It is not something I had on my bingo card for this year, but here we are, Cooper. If I'm sure the media got around, if those of you that were at the in-person draft know what we did to determine the draft order, and that was a play poker. Cooper, do you want to enlighten me what it's called when you have the best possible
It's called
hand?
having the nuts.
The nuts, and that's my headline. My headline is nuts. Because James DeCamp trotted out there with his 4 of a kind. Absolute 4 of a kind. Nearly 30 bombs from all of them to put up 174. I think that's the highest total this week. John didn't even have a bad week. He just got absolutely bombed by that 174 explosion onto his face and back.
Sometimes you got to know when to fold them. Brian, my final headline from week 3 of the GFL. 1989. Now, 19.89, obviously the combined average scores of Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson over the first 3 weeks of the season.
Oh, first 3 weeks. I was like,
Also, the name of Taylor Swift's 2014 fifth studio album, 1989. And what is Taylor Swift known for?
okay.
Kick-ass breakup songs, dating Travis Kelce, and of course, her Eras tour. And let me tell you, Kyle, formerly known as the Swifties, has officially begun his villain era, going out and beating LeBron's third leg, 132 to 120.
So yeah, I think my headline is that the soon-to-be renamed Swifties are the most underrated team in the league.
To go to 2-1 with the second most points in the league.
I think that I'm continuously underrated in this league.
Absolutely. Is Shaheed Mareed back? Are they back?
He got
Are
a
they
lot
back?
of flack. He got a lot of
Taking over
flack for the
in the
namesake
Magic
being on the
League.
bench, who put up a double goose egg. So can you blame the manager for knowing his players well?
Now, Cooper, I believe last year we did somewhat of a similar segment with the manager of Somewhere the Goobers at the time. Right now, it's Bikini Bottom Goobers right now. I know it's only week 3, but we love to overreact on this show. It's one of our favorite things. Is it time to panic? I'm gonna throw you a team, and you're gonna tell me if their season is already over. And the first one, maybe one of our biggest panics. It's the Silly Willies. I'll lay it out for you right now. Debo out, Jalen Warren out, Pacheco out. He's projected 101 this week. Zamir White is no longer a starter. William McLaughlin, his running backs are Zamir White, and Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not. He's got 5 questionable or doubtful players on his bench, which is insane. There's only bench 5 bench spots.
The deja vu to the past 2 seasons, where about week 4, the Silly Willies look like a hospital with all their red on the roster.
Yeah.
We're back again.
You're now projected to finish 8th in the league.
Well, currently, you have 6 players who are currently questionable or on IR.
Holy shit.
What the hell are you going to do about that? You're in trouble, buddy.
You mentioned Kupp. Zeke's questionable. K-Met's questionable. Devonta Smith's questionable. Mark Andrews is questionable. Valdez Scantling is questionable. I mean, the list goes on and on.
My low is probably today.
Wow.
I feel like I've just had no answers, and it hurts. My team deserves better, and I'll do better.
And Brian,
Can't believe we're back. When are the Silly Willies gonna fix their medical department? Someone needs to be fired. This is
they need to be
problem.
investigated for human cruelty at this point. There is gross negligence
Absolutely
going
do.
on in that front office. If the Willies go down to 1-3 with the injuries they have currently got, it's over. I'm concerned about the level of involvement there. To be completely
I'm
frank.
concerned as well. I'm concerned. Don't call me Frank. Next up, it's our only 0-3 team.
It is
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
100% time to panic.
The Chargers suck. Herbert's out. Tank Dell ain't it. Laporta's hurt and sucks. Kenneth Walker's doubtful and isn't playing. Jaden Reed has no quarterback. That's where he's at.
And who is he playing this week?
He's playing me.
I mean, yeah, it's been time to panic for the who gives a shit.
Once again, we over here, Ball and Chain, seem to love his teams. Every year that we get fooled. I said it last week and the week before. Don't fool us again, and we've been tricked again. So we'll see what he does. Next up, for me, it's somebody who you have a little bit of an animosity with. It is Kyron's back pain. Caden, the young manager. I mean, Drake London is having a breakout. Terry McLaurin had a good game. Isaiah Likely is not worth what he paid for him in the slightest. Wandale has been benched. He has less than $500 off the fob. Puka's hurt and Addison has been hurt. Is it time to panic there? He did just get a nice win, but, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, Scary Terry was a man that I was high on from the beginning of the season. I think he's shown a lot of maturity in his patience, getting Jaden Daniels comfortable, knowing the balls are going to start coming to him more. We saw that last night.
Who cares?
I think if it weren't for a pretty strong running core between Kyron Williams and James Conner here, I would say he should be smashing that panic button. I think if this manager can eke out a couple of wins over the next 4 to 5 weeks, he's got the late season potential to get back into it.
Cooper, is it time to panic for...
My sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray.
The Tinglers?
Who?
/
Don't know him. Don't know
I
him.
won't say it. I won't say it. The Toe
It
Suckers.
is absolutely not time to panic for the Toe Suckers.
Rashad is losing his job. Cooper Kupp is hurt. Tyreek does not have a quarterback for the next, 8 weeks. And I was 100% right on Javonte. I agree. I completely agree.
Not looking great right now. I would have loved to see a bounce back after a pretty abysmal week 2, and we got quite the opposite. We kept going deeper. But these are young guys. They're ready. They're eager. They're hungry. I expect a strong showing in week 4.
All right, whatever. Also, just real quick, maybe the opposite time to panic. Are the Goobers already a lock for the playoffs? I could not have put it better myself. Good Lord.
Yeah, the Goobers are the team to beat right now, clearly. I mean, they had a relatively weak week 3. Playing at the time the Tinglers. You didn't need much to get a dub. I mean, I'm not in the business of charity, but hey, you'll give what you give.
Moving on to some teams that need some wins here. It's our matchup of the week. Cooper, you are all too familiar with one of these teams. A regular, I don't want to say rival of yours. I assume it is the Silly Willies out here. 2 teams that are down on their luck. Two teams that, if this game is lost, that could be the season. This could be the absolute brink.
Mommy, sorry.
Of which there is no return. Jaden Davis might need to carry your team. Tyreek doesn't. Jaden Daniels. Pardon me. I'm getting excited about Michigan here. Rock Bowers needs to show up. He needs to show up. And for God's sakes, if I'm the Silly Willies, pick up the phone and trade for at least one running back who can play. You need this win. You cannot play either of those bums.
Zamir and Jaleel as the starting 2 in the backfield does not instill confidence in the matchup this week.
If I see Zaleel coming at me in week 4, I'm not scared at all. I'm not scared at all. I've got you winning this. And an absolute barn burner, 98-99.
Whoa. I think it really comes down to which running backs show up this week, B-Rob and Bucky or Zamir and Jaleel. So, With that being said, final score 117-112 in favor of the Suckers.
Yeah, a little bit too high for that one. The Suckers may suck on this one. Welcome back to everybody's favorite segment, John, and welcome back to the Ball and Chain. I'm getting used to seeing you here. It's maybe the highlight of my week every time.
I'm enjoying being here. It's an honor and a privilege to be the Prime Minister of Pain on the show and administering a healthy dose of medicine to the team that either underperforms or the player and the coach that don't set their lineup and ends up losing. So
embarrassing.
We've had some pretty good ones thus far. Looking forward to the spin this week and seeing if we can get something new. So won't waste any of our time, and I'll jump right into it.
I gotta interject really quick. Apologies if I look distracted. I pulled up ESPN Fantasy to get ready for this and just saw toes in my face. And speaking of the Wheel of Punishment, it's real. It hits you hard. So yeah, John, please do the honors.
It's
Absolutely. I feel like Vanna White. Best $15 I ever spent.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Look at that thing go. That thing's really spinning. Isn't that amazing? Wow. Look at
Still
that thing.
gone.
Hang on.
Ooh, and we have a return to the classic. Fast Banana.
We're fast bananing again.
Back by
Hard fast
popular
bananing
demand.
again.
The people love it.
It was-
People want it.
I'm doing one right now. I haven't even lost. Oh my god.
We were very close to getting Fruit Pledge, but maybe next week.
Maybe.
So
Yeah,
for now, we'll do Fast Banana Part 2. So
I like that.
whoever,
John, if
we'll see if we can finally have someone break the 15-second barrier.
I was listen, barring controversy of any banana
There was
left in the peel.
definitely banana left in the
Pretty
peel.
good.
Certainly banana in that peel.
It sounds like I've got something to prove.
Yeah. Yep.
Amazing.
Exactly. Go ahead and bench your entire starting lineup just to make sure.
Saquon's being cut. Sounds good. All right, John. Thanks for coming on again.
Can't wait to see who gets to throw to banana this week.
Pleasure
Oh, it's
as
me.
always.
All right. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your favorite part of the episode. It's our bonus segment
Amazing.
of the week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through, but we're going to try our darndest for the listeners out there. Now, Brian, a lot of teams this season have rebranded around a player. You know, of course, we've got Who Gives a Ship, In Gabe We Trust, that's been a mainstay through last season. The Mark Ladon and the Finns, and of course, the current high scorer of the league, our commissioner, Won't You Be My Neighbors. And I think this brings up a crucial role on any team, and that is, of course, the glue guy. Every team needs one. And so I want to go through a little exercise with all 12 teams in the league and say, if you had to pick a player on that roster to be the glue guy that you're going to brand your team around, maybe they've got some similarities with the manager, or they just fit in really well as an individual to that organization, who it might be. So, for example, I'm going to kick us off here. We'll go back and forth. We've already split up the 12 teams. I'm going to start with the Goobers. Very clear, obvious answer for me. It's Zach Ertz in this case. He looks like he could work at Pettibone and spend his evenings sitting on Lake Superior. Just vibes-wise, I think he fits the manager well. Whether or not he's a massive point scorer, he's going to be the morale you need in the locker room week in, week out.
Why, it's no other than Shaheed Mareed. Mr. Kyle Whittingham. For me, the guy that really stands out for him is James Cook. It has to be James
I like that
Cook.
pick.
He's already picked his brother. He talked about picking up his brother. He talked about wanting to pick up Brandon Cooks. Like, he's assembling a trio here. And I think that really
Too many
speaks.
cooks in the kitchen to be that team name. Brian, I'm going to jump over to one of those teams I just mentioned that already rebranded around a player. It's Won't You Be My Neighbors, which, again, like, scroll at least to the second page of Reddit before you pick a team name. I think the much more fitting player to brand that team around is Kyle Pitts.
That speaks to me.
A lot
That
like
speaks
our
to me.
commissioner, he is disrespected, arguably quite talented with rare flashes of brilliance. I think there's a short thread between our manager and his tight end Kyle Pitts.
I mean, we're looking at LeBron's third leg here. I have no changes at all. My GOAT LeBron is getting a spot. I think he's a perfect role model for this team. He's someone to look up to. Actually, I think Devontae Adams has been one of the best receivers in this league for a long time. Clearly, LeBron's third leg is making an argument to be one of the best, if not the best manager we have.
Brian, I'm going to turn it pretty close to home for you to your Brian football team. There's a clear choice for me here. Someone you've been pretty high on for the past couple of days. It's Chuba Hubbard.
What up, blood? What up, gangsta?
I love him. Sorry to kind of crash land on that one. Hashtag keep pounding. Need I say more?
Pause.
I'm going to jump over to In Gabe We Trust. It feels a little sacrilegious to suggest anything other than Gabe Davis. That being
I just before you get into this, I'd like to make very clear, Gabe was my first love.
That's true.
He was my first love before he was happily in a 2-year relationship here with Mr. Logan
Stolen
Bergeron.
valor going over into the West
Stolen
Coast.
valor. I may be making a trade very soon.
Not a player that has gotten anywhere near expectations this season, but I think it's got to be Travis Kelce for Logan Bergeron. For no other reason than that guy probably also lounges around the house in low socks and slides. Ryan, take us home.
Well, thank you all for coming in and watching a week 4 edition of Ball and Chain. It's been so nice to have you here. So nice to have you here. Go home, hug your dog, take a lozenge, get a good nap. We want you to feel better over here. And thank you for joining us on this journey. I'm sending my well wishes to the audience.
Where's my team?
Your team? And we've arrived at the Teton Toe Suckers. The Teton Toe Suckers. I mean, I would say Ramondre, but he's not on the roster. Jaden Daniels is that guy. I think you're looking for some booms. I think that's the Tingler way. It's all or nothing with the Tinglers, clearly, as we've seen over the past 2 seasons. And I think he represents that.
I'll take it. Well,
thank you all for joining us on this journey. Go ahead.
A pleasure.
Any closing remarks? Cooper, any closing
remarks? A pleasure
remarks?
as always. Go hug your friends and family. Suck on a cough drop if you got a tickle in the back of your throat, and stay safe out there.
That's something. Is there seasonal?
But
usually. It's in that one episode.